Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it was a big, ambitious challenge and ambition, which is, I mean, the history of the brand had been peppered with a brand that, at least in its communications, was fractured. I think it had something like sort of 7 different taglines, you know, swapping campaigns in and out. So, you know, what remained consistent was the quality of the beer and the logo, and the fact that it was sort of found everywhere. So the request for a big unifying idea that would sell more Heineken at a premium price was a good one. So the process, I think, well, first thing to observe about the process is it was one of collaboration. A lengthy process over a good few months between planner, client and creative. It wasn't a sort of passing of the baton. It was, you know, a bunch of like-minded, nice, ambitious, creatively minded individuals sat around a problem trying to find a way to fix it or solve for it. So I think that's the first bit, because I don't think we would have got to a good place without that, you know, the open-mindedness to work in that way. And then, as Parter was talking about in the session earlier, we looked at just like, you know, what bit of people's lives can we be part of, you know, rather than how can we get people interested in the brand, where can the brand legitimately play a role. I remember us looking at a tracking study for looking at Heineken brand image data, and the thing that popped most was I think it was something like it's international, which broadly means that you can go anywhere and you'll find Heineken that's being served down there in the Crozet. You know, you go to Mumbai, you can go to Phuket, you can go to Berlin, there's your Heineken. So people play, well, yeah, it's international, you see it in every country. Sort of a word with no meaning really, it just means widely distributed. So that was one bit. The second bit was what I would sort of call corporate archaeology, going back and asking people about the origins of the business and looking at who founded it. You know, there was the Heineken family after all, and that was interesting because Heineken could have stayed a very small local good beer brand. There are lots of good local beer brands around the world, you know, that never get exported, and there are these little local jewels. But I think it's sort of true Dutch sort of entrepreneurial trading, get on the boat spirit. They thought, fuck it, let's give this to the world, let's get on ships and boats and, you know, let's get it out there. Everybody, you know, the belief that everybody in the world deserved a high quality beer. So there was something about it refused to stay local. Well, it could have been just like that cute little dinky brand that you sometimes see in Amsterdam. So those two bits, it was international, and while it had been sort of, as we say, sort of born in Amsterdam, from a very, very early age, it had big, sort of quite worldly ambitions. And then it was crazy just looking at the lives of men. Going, well, what's up with blokes? What's up with blokes? And the observation, I won't call it insight because that's the term. The observation that no young man really wants to come across as a provincial amateur. You know, most men in the cities and towns of the world want to feel like they're the man who knows their way around. They know what's what. You know, they're not some bumpkin who doesn't know how the world works. A sense of they've got some worldly wisdom there. That they're sort of, you know, there's a hinterland of interests and passions and knowledge. They're sort of cosmopolitan rather than I'm just some oik and I haven't lived and my mind is narrow. I think lots of blokes are like that. We like to feel that we know our way around the world, don't we, us fellas? It's why we don't ask for direction.